Hey everyone, this is going to be a new ZMF video on replacing the rods in your ZMF headphone. You'll see here this is one of my personal Vibra-Tite closed units, and what we're going to do is we're going to swap out these silver rods, stainless steel, to a set of black rods. It's not too hard a process and you don't need that many things, but what you might want, you're going to need some new rods obviously. You want to use Vibra-Tite VC3 as the thread locker that you're going to use here. And you're also going to want a small flathead screwdriver. And then it can help to have a silicone glove. We've got these kind of heavy duty ones here, but just a nitrile silicone, something to kind of get a little bit of a better grip on the rods so you can take them off, always helps a little bit. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. Just going to go ahead and make sure that I'm kind of about 2/10 from the top on the upright. So the upright's 2/10 from the bottom, I should say. And so we're going to go ahead and get a nice grip on the top of that upright, spin around. I always like to hold the headphones like this, because what this is going to do is it's going to really help me get a nice grip on here, and the other cup's weighed down by gravity a little, so I don't have any chance of, when this cup comes off, of this poking into the other cup and denting it. And so as soon as I get that cup off, I'm going to take this rod off so it doesn't poke into the other cup, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go let the headband kind of sit so that it's not bumping into the cup as I spin this one off. Got a nice grip there with my rubber glove. Taking my rod off, and I'm just going to set that aside for now. Then you want to just put your cups here, left and right, so you know which side you're going to utilize later, so you don't get confused and put the right on the left as we put it back on the headband. Grab your Vibra-Tite VC3. The reason we use Vibra-Tite VC3 on any of the headphones is just that it provides a nice tight lock, not so tight that you're not going to be able to remove it later, and it's also reusable, whereas you can unscrew and screw things in 3 to 5 times and it'll still work before you have to reapply. In this case, we don't have thread locker on the rods, so we're going to have to apply it. I'm going to go ahead, and one key to this and getting this to work really well is applying it on your threads and then waiting about half an hour before you use it. If you wait too long, maybe an hour or more, it's going to be kind of hard to get on. If you wait too little time, it's not really going to do the job that you wanted it to and have it stick as much. So I got one here. I'm going to put that aside, let it sit for half an hour. I'm going to get my VC3 and do the other one. Let that sit for about half an hour. You want just kind of a fine coating, just enough to get in the threads, but not so much that you have a kind of bulbous or droplets that are outside the threads. Too much and it's gonna make the cleanup a little harder at the end, and too little and you won't get enough tightness when you're thread locking there. And so I got these 2 rods that I already thread locked about half an hour ago. I can kind of tell they're ready to go because as I touch them, the thread lock doesn't come off onto my fingers. You can see they're kind of nicely thread locked in there. There's not too much extra threading or anything beyond the threads. And so I like doing one at a time. And so these are ready to go still from before. They still have the same tightness. I'm going to put the left in here. And again, you can use your silicone glove. That'll just help you get a nice firm grip. And with the headband, I'm also going to make the headband a little flatter so I'm not, worried about things clanging into each other so much. So I've got the left side. You kind of think of the headband like this, where the left side of the headband, the rod is always facing you, kind of how you put the headphones on. I'm going to go ahead and just get my nice feel there, make sure that I'm at a kind of 90-degree angle, and I'm just going to kind of feel my way into the threads. And because if with a good amount of thread locker on there, you might have to wiggle back and forth a little bit to get a nice grip before you really go in. And you want to go and you'll kind of feel, on your fingers, it's kind of tugging at my fingers when I'm all the way in, and you can see a little bit of the thread locker right there, just kind of it's kind of pushing through, pushing out, that we'll clean up in a minute. And that's how we know we're all the way in. Same thing on the other side. Now that I got the cup on, I got to be a little more careful. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rod in here. And if you have a left-handed glove, I mean, it can be easier to do this the other way. Just going to use my gravity again, make sure nothing's clanging against each other. Got a nice tight grip with my left hand, and just really making sure that I go slow to make sure this cup doesn't bump into the other cup, cause any dents or any unwanted stuff. And now you can see the headphones back together. I got the new rods on, and the last thing we want to do is just clean this up and kind of dust off there. And the easiest way to do this is either you can just kind of take a fingernail and peel it off, or I like these brushes. You know, the nylon brushes are really nice. This is actually a kitchen brush, and you can just kind of scrape away any of that extra residue. Just get it off there. Kind of give ourselves a little more space. Remember our pinch method for moving the upright there. Go ahead and get that off. And we can just go in there if we want with a little cloth. And there you have it. You'll want to, of course, next probably refer to our headband bending video, and that'll be where you get this back into a really good fit for you. And that's about it. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll catch you with the next one.